Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the newest hustle I see. It's coming through my feed. Someone linked it on the Facebook fan page, and I've seen it come through my feed in the last day or two, and even seen Alan Aragon and other people talking about it, and that's Bulletproof's new product called Fat Water. So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing. Work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. And this kind of goes back to the point I make about various fad diets or extreme diets producing all sorts of products. People trying to sell products based around them instead of people just eating food. People just eating food. And that's been one of the crazy things with the keto phenomenon now that it's, again, gained a resurgence in popularity. XFit and other people have promoted it. You see certain YouTubers promoting it again. The problem is that people come in and they try to capitalize on it, come up with all these ideas. And you know, one of the big problems, and this is something I observed with some of my own family members on social media who are following keto diets themselves to lose weight, and they're doing stuff like, oh, let me get all this almond flour and all this other stuff that they're putting together to make keto-friendly pastries and stuff. And again, this is a case of, guys, the whole point of ketogenic diets, I'm not necessarily a fan. I've used them in the past. I'm very familiar with how they work. That ketogenic diets work through appetite suppression. Actually, on an energy expenditure basis, they are the least efficient diet possible for losing body fat. Meaning, calories in, calories out, actually you will lose the least amount of body fat out of almost any style of diet for the same amount of calories you eat. It's not a big gap, but it is there. They're the least efficient diet in terms of energy output and energy use. They are, and that's pretty much been shown in labs. However, they're so popular due to appetite suppression. Number one, the ketones making you slightly nauseous and suppressing appetite themselves, and low food variety. Having low food variety tends to reduce people's appetite over time. So these people are trying to do stuff to re-stimulate their appetites so that they can quit losing body fat, I guess, while on ketogenic diets. You're not supposed to be making hyper-palatable foods. That's not how the diet works. The people who do best on these diets are the people who consume nothing but like meat, eggs, and vegetables. All right, people who do meat, eggs, and vegetables, those are the people who are successful on ketogenic diets. People who start adding in all this other stuff, and even cheese is one of the big ones. That's been noted for years on even groups that deal with ketogenic diets. That cheese is one of the big ones that really messes people's diet up on keto, even though it's a keto food. It's too easy to eat excessive amounts of it due to the combination of the casomorphines and the extreme caloric density combined with the saltiness. It's really easy to overeat. It's too hyper palatable to work even on a ketogenic diet for most people. So you have this company Bulletproof, who was known a while back for making their Bulletproof coffee, right, where they were basically talking about putting butter, like 500 calories of butter into coffee in the morning so that you get tons of fat to keep you in ketosis. Well, drinking 500 calories for anyone who's not a very, very serious athlete who's trying to lose body fat is a really bad idea. I mean, the idea behind it is stupid. Butter is certainly not a health food. Butter is not a fat loss food, and liquid calories in general are one of the worst ways to lose body fat. They tend to have a low satiety. So drinking a bunch of butter in your coffee, this whole Bulletproof company, I believe they had a big part of that, is a ridiculous, absurd idea. And again, tons of dietitians and even sports dietitians have chimed in on this and said, look, this is stupid. Even if someone wanted to do a ketogenic diet, this would be one of the ways to sabotage your ketogenic diet. So then what do we have now? Bulletproof is now making fat water. They're making a product called Fat Water. Yeah, you guys got that right. And a lot of you are thinking, wow, this is the same thing. It's going to be a bunch of fat calories mixed into water. Wow. And that's what it sounds like at first until you dig deeper into it. And actually what it turns out to be, there's almost nothing in it. Now, you know, if you go to their website, because I went to check it out, most of them, it looks like they're about 12 bottles, little water bottles, for $34. That means you are paying in excess of $2, almost $3 a bottle. I don't know what the shipping is going to run, but with shipping it could exceed $3 a bottle. But the base price, close to $3 a bottle, just under. Like $1 or $2 away from it being $3 a bottle for the whole case. Now, this is for bottled water, guys. Bottled water with some flavoring added Now it turns out they're adding a fat to it, but it has 20 calories. 20 calories. 20 calories from fat. Do you guys know how little that is? That's not even an energy drink. The whole idea is, oh, it perks your brain up, it gives you energy, everything else. Well, that might just be from some whatever caffeine or whatever's in it. I didn't even read all of that. I only saw what they were putting in terms of fat in it. I don't know what else they might be putting, but caffeine would be the only way it wakes your brain up. But you're going to pay over $2 for a bottle with some caffeine in it. And now as far as the fat goes, 20 calories of fat is not going to do anything to boost your energy any significant level. Now, what they're pulling is talking about, well, it turns out they're using something that they patented, I believe is, what's it called? Brain octane oil. Brain octane oil. Which is, again, a bit of a misnomer, because even when people are in deep ketosis, the brain is one of the organs in the body that can't run on pure ketones. Right? That's one reason people get brain fog on ketogenic diets. The brain needs 50% glucose for fuel. Okay, you have to have glucose for fuel for your brain. That's sugar. Up to 50%, but it takes it a while to adjust to ketones. So that's during the whole induction phase people do on these type of diets. The brain needs a couple of weeks to adapt, and it sputters until then, and you tend to get brain fog. You get all sorts of tiredness, fatigue, slow response times. That happens because your brain normally burns on 100% glucose. Now, when people go on ketosis and they stay there a little while, your brain can burn up to 50% of its calories from ketones, needs the other 50% from glucose. Right? So because they're using this and it turns into ketones, they're calling it brain fuel. But that's ironic, because in a ketogenic diet, your brain actually burns the least amount of ketones in ratio to glucose of any other tissue in the body. So it's almost absurd that they're calling something that's a fat brain octane fuel. Now, their basis for this is because it looks like they're harvesting it from coconuts, which means it's probably MCT oil. It's going to be medium chain triglycerides, because they're claiming it turns into ketones at a faster rate than normal fat. Well, that means they're putting MCT in it. Right? It's a medium chain triglycerides, because the only thing that convert to ketones faster than normal fats are medium chain triglycerides and short chain triglycerides. To my knowledge, the oils that they're getting from coconut oil is going to be the MCT oil. The only way humans normally get short chain fatty acids in our diet is from the fiber that we eat. Our gut flora turns some of our fiber into short chain fatty acids, which is even more ketogenic. So they're doing this, they've got this patented oil, and they're throwing it in there. But the ironic part, MCT oil is now being added to ketogenic diets. In this case, a tiny trace amount. Keep in mind, guys, this isn't going to be enough of a difference to matter. There's no way you're going to notice this 20 calories in terms of energy response, anything else. But here's the problem with MCT oils. What is the number one reason ketogenic diets were still around before Dr. Atkins? Because of childhood epilepsy. Ketogenic diets have been studied extensively in childhood epilepsy. Now, a lot of top experts note that these diets actually work better than a lot of the drugs do. Deep ketogenic diets, and people need to understand, you're not necessarily restricting carbs on that. Some people eat more carbs on these diets, these children do, than people do on ketogenic diets, but they are 80% fat. They're called a 4-to-1 keto diet. You eat 80% fat, and the other 20% of your calories can come from any real combination of protein and carbs, and it's usually about a 50-50 mix. But they're almost all fat diets. Several of the top experts in children's epilepsy have noted that MCT oils, the MCT-based ketogenic diets where they're adding a bunch of MCT oils, don't actually help the children on epilepsy. The diet doesn't seem to benefit them. And I've seen at least 3 neurologists who specialize in this and specialize in childhood epilepsy write articles on this online, that they really want to see the MCT oil removed from the therapeutic ketogenic diets and not suggested, because their children, when they put them on them, the diet doesn't work and their epilepsy doesn't improve in any way. And when they take them off of it, the diet works magically. Now, one of the only legitimate medical reasons people are doing ketogenic diets, they find that MCT oil actually sabotages the medical benefits. And yet here we have companies pushing and promoting in small amounts and selling the very substance that seems to sabotage this type of diet when used for medical reasons. And that is the opinion of some of the top experts, medical doctors in the world who are working with these children have noted this. And again, I've seen at least 3 of them write articles on it over the years. All right, that's not my opinion, not your opinion. That is the opinion of top experts who use these diets every day to cure a medical condition. They're saying the MCT oil seems to disrupt the medical benefits of the diet. It doesn't work. It undoes the good. Yet here we have people wanting to throw it into their ketogenic diets. And in this case, selling it to you at over $2 a bottle to have a little bit of trace amounts, probably 3 cents worth of MCT being added to flavored water. The bullshit runs deep in this industry. The bullshit is deep. It's way above knee level. And again, just the absurdity of this idea. And the fact that people are actually buying it is even worse. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.